So this is a clone of Absolute Aventus. In general, I prefer the Afnans to the Armafs, but if you want like kind of a deep, dark, spicy pineapple scent that does closely resemble Absolute Aventus and performs well, you could check this one out. At 9 we have Noir by Tom Ford. Very overlooked, as a lot of people go for Noir Extreme and Noir Extreme Parfum, and I can understand that, as I do think they're slightly better, but this has its own cool vibe which I like. Someone in my comments once described this as damp, and I think that's a really good term to describe this with, kind of damp and moody. So in the top you have violet, pink pepper, caraway, bergamot and verbena. In the mid you have iris, rose, black pepper, nutmeg, geranium and clary sage. And in the base you have patchouli leaf, amber, vanilla, leather, civet, hopefully that's synthetic civet, as well as opopanox, benzoin, vetiver and styrax. But yeah, if you want kind of a stripped back version of Noir Extreme, so removing that Indian dessert type note, and you want something kind of dark, moody and mysterious and damp, you might find that Noir is actually the answer for you, and you might find it a real dark horse and that you prefer it to the Noir Extremes. So a bit overlooked, definitely has its place. A nice kind of floral, dark, spicy scent. At 8 we have Halloween Man Shot. Rumoured to be being discontinued, so that's one to keep an eye on if you do want to get hold of this. So it's a nice combination of cardamom, iris and vanilla. A nice sweetness for the colder weather. Not cloying or like overly sweet, just a nice kind of sweet feel about this. Nice and masculine, smells high quality, and performance is pretty good. At 7 we have the fresh and versatile oud that is Acqua Di Parma's oud. So if you want an oud that smells real and high quality at the same time as wanting an entry level versatile oud, check this one out. So in the top you have orange and bergamot, in the mid you have oud, amyris and coriander, and in the base you have leather, sandalwood, cedar, musk and patchouli. But it's a nice kind of orange oud combo, so you get that nice freshness from the orange. You really do get that tint throughout, mixed in really well with the oud. So if you want an oud that you can kind of wear all year round, I mean generally it is better for the colder months, but you can get away with wearing this in all seasons. Check this one out. Yeah, a nice light oud, not too animalic, not too harsh or anything. Definitely worth checking out. At 6 we have Bvlgari Man In Black. So if you like Spice Bomb, add Spice Bomb Extreme and want it with a bit of a twist with added notes of rum and iris, you can check this one out. This was made by Alberto Marias, who I usually know for his fresh fragrances, but he did a good job with this one. So in the top you have spices, rum and tobacco. In the mid you have leather, iris and tuberose. And in the base you have tonka bean, guaiac wood and benzoin. Quite brash, in your face and unapologetic. If you want something spicy and masculine for the colder weather, check out Bvlgari Man In Black. At 5 we're discussing Creed's Centaurus. So it's Creed's take on that kind of cozy winter spicy DNA. In the top you have cinnamon, tobacco, cardamom and pink pepper. In the mid you have sandalwood, patchouli, heliotrope, geranium and jasmine. In the base you get bourbon vanilla, benzoin, tonka bean, tolly balsam and ambroxan. So with those three base notes of bourbon vanilla, benzoin and tonka bean, you can imagine the kind of vanillic feel this has in the dry down. But yeah, on the top you get that cinnamon and tobacco and cardamom kind of spiciness, spicy masculine notes and quite heavy patchouli in the mid. A real good performer, this one. If you're fed up with Creed's performances and you want something that's actually going to last and project, you might find Centaurus is the answer. Really, really nice smell. It smells very high quality, full of naturals, as you'd expect for the price. I like this a lot. Great for the cold weather for sure. At 4 we have Azzaro's The Most Wanted Intense. So all of this line are fantastic, but this might be one that you haven't tried. You might have tried The Most Wanted Parfum, which seems very popular. But this is a nice one with toffee in it. So in the top you have cardamom, in the mid you have toffee, and in the base you have amberwood. It's that kind of sweet gourmandish type of a feel that Azzaro does very well with this line. So with a nut of toffee, if you're expecting something sickly sweet and cloying, that's not the case with this. It's blended very smoothly and it's very pleasant. Not at all grating. Like I find some, like Jazz Club and Dolce & Gabbanna's the one, a little bit grating personally with the sweetness, and even Tobacco Vanille. I think this is a nice sweet, if you get what I mean. So it's sweet, but not grating, not cloying, just an enjoyable sweetness. So for me, all of the Azzaro line are excellent, and this one in particular is really, really nice and maybe a little bit overlooked. At 3 we have Tom Ford's Eau D'Ombre leather. So this depends how much you want that leather note to be prominent. In Tuscan leather it's extremely prominent, In ombre leather, it's toned down and mixed with some florals, and here it's toned down even more. So with Eau D'Ombre leather, it's a nice mixture of vanilla, cardamom, with leather more as a supporting note than the main focus. Don't get me wrong, you certainly still pick up the leather. It is prominent, but it's not like the main focus. There's a lot more going on here. It's a nice sweet scent. So in the top you have cardamom, ginger and coriander. In the mid you get vanilla and leather. And in the base you get something called Ambro Fix, which I guess is a variation of Ambroxan. But yeah, I like this a lot. It's a nice spicy vanilla wintry scent. A little bit kind of generic and typical until you get that leather added in. So I think the leather does complement the fragrance very well without being the dominant note. So if you like the Tom Ford leather scents but want it as a bit more of a background player rather than the main focus, check out Eau D'Ombre leather. At 2 we're going with Herod by Parfums de Marly. If you like the tobacco vanilla type of a combination, you'll probably like this. This also has a very noticeable incense note. So in the top you have cinnamon and pepperwood. In the mid you get tobacco leaf, incense, osmanthus and labdanum. In the base you have vanilla, isoi super, cedar, musk, cypriol oil and vetiver. Performance I find very good. I've heard mixed things, but I can say from my point of view performance is good, and that's on skin or clothes. Very high quality, very addictive. It's got that kind of intoxicating nature to the dry down where you just love smelling it throughout the day. I've had good reactions from this also, so it's not just me who thinks that. Yeah, I really like this. I think I probably don't talk about it enough in terms of the Parfums de Marlys. I think I give a lot of the other ones more attention than this, but it's definitely one of my favorites. And yeah, if you haven't checked this out, then you should do so, and you'll probably really like it. And at number 1, we're going with Guerlain L'Homme Idéal Parfum. So back in the day, I used to own the Eau de Parfum, which is that cherry leather vanilla combination. I thought it was quite nice. It was never my absolute favourite, but it was nice for a sweet scent. For me, this is a big step up. I really love this Guerlain L'Homme Idéal Parfum. For me, it's better than the EDP. I definitely reach for it more than I ever did for that. So the notes here are amaretto, leather, musk and patchouli. But yeah, I like this. If you want like a sweet, high quality, very, very addictive smelling scent, I think the amaretto note is very noticeable here. Yeah, unique, nice, addictive, and performance is very good. So for me, it's a bit overlooked, and if you haven't tried it, it might be worth doing so, and you might find it's an excellent winter scent for you. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.